Sixx Sense with Nikki Sixx.
It's a mess up world. What do you get? I'm still a fake. I'm going to hell. Oh, Lord, heaven knows we belong way down below. Take me down against the devil's back. Against the devil's back.
Taylor and Ben from the Pretty Reckless are sitting in with us on Sixx Sense. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
God, it's been what, a year?
I
don't even know.
More than that, yeah.
2 maybe? You have been a little bit busy writing a record, coming out with a record, playing some underground shows. The record, who you selling for? Where'd the name come from?
Well, it's a song on the record, but when we were going through different options for titles of the record, that one kind of stuck out and seemed the most fitting. I found it interesting to pose a question to the audience instead of defining it for them. So whatever it means to you folks.
I haven't asked you this before, but I really want to know, when did you know that this was really going to work?
As a band?
Yeah.
Kind of pretty immediately, I think.
As a band or being a musician, I think is what.
Well, which one?
Well, being a band, but both of those questions are great.
I mean, being a musician, I've been writing and singing and playing since I was a child, so it's just ingrained in me. I think the same for you. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And as a band, I think we kind of clicked pretty immediately when we first met, and it was lucky and rare to find people that have the same musical taste, and then B, that you get on with that well and it's that compatible that quickly.
And I think you're always trying to figure out if it works.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Day to day, I question.
Does it work?
What did it look like when you were little and you were writing and experimenting with music?
Looked like a lot of notebooks and a piano and a guitar.
Do you still have all of them?
I have a lot of them. Yeah, they're in storage somewhere in boxes.
So you don't go back and reference, or do you kind of remember?
I don't think my 5-year-old songs.
Look, you don't know.
I'm going to be right for this.
You actually don't know.
It could be genius.
Yeah, true. You
no
actually
idea.
don't know.
What genre of music do you guys most relate to separately?
Rock and roll. I think we all agree. The Beatles. Is that a genre? Is it their own genre?
Yeah.
They are their own genre.
They're the genre of rock and roll.
I mean, a lot of people in rock go back to blues and they say, this is where I pull from.
Well, blues, I mean, without the blues, there would be no rock and roll. So, of course,
true.
Blues as well. But so it's a billion bands. I can just list them. It's the Beatles, it's Led Zeppelin.
The good stuff.
It's the Who, it's the Pink Floyd.
I was talking to Nikki last week about if bands have ever written a song and they know that it's not good. And he was like, I don't think that that's the case until you're reflecting back on it. Has there ever been a time for you guys where you?
We know when it's not good.
Immediately?
No. But some people record it and find out later.
Yes.
We let the songs gestate. We never write a song and record it that day. That's so rare. It happened once or twice. Usually you want to sit back and sleep on it and look at it and make sure that you're not going to be embarrassed tomorrow or a year from now.
Or 10 years
so whenever
from
it's
now.
kind of once you've gone through it enough times, you can do it yourself. It takes a longer time to do it that way, but that way kind of ensures not making bad recordings.
And on the flip side of that, do you know when you have a good one, or do you put it in the hands of other people and go, "What do you think of this?"
I think that we have a good gauge. If we like it, then
We don't have any other people.
Yeah, we don't have any other people, so it's pretty much just us. So I think, we're
the same thing. We
we're
spend a
engaged.
long time with it.
Yeah, you have to make sure you give it the time it needs to double check and triple check.
You tend to know if something's one of those magic ones. You tend to.
Yeah.
That's quick. You still sit on it for as long as it takes to believe that it isn't bad.
But sometimes
But that's if your goal is to specifically only make to fruition your top quality stuff. I mean, some people will just record everything and then figure it out as they go or later or whatever. We just happen to not want to pursue it at all or waste time only on our best things, I think, is how we do it.
Where did you pull from emotionally for this record?
Everywhere. Deep, dark down, deep. Everywhere. I mean, I think this record was kind of the natural evolution of this band, and it pulls from personal experiences, life experiences. You know, we're all older. We've all have more experiences to pull from, so it covers a lot of bases.
Do you still isolate yourself when you write?
Yes.
So you didn't write on the road, right?
I mean, I'm always writing, and he is too. So you're always jotting down ideas and things like that. But the real like meat of the material comes when we get off tour and we actually have some time to reflect and sit with our own thoughts and work on it. Because on tour, you're always working on tour, and you're always with people, and there's no alone time.
Do you guys coordinate when you're writing? Do you talk when you're writing, or do you separate, and then come together?
It doesn't really have a method.
Yeah, it doesn't. Not really. I mean,
just someone gets lucky with an idea and we kind of go with it.
Yeah.
But we set aside just not time like today, or it's not like on a day-to-day thing. It's, well, we're done touring, so now that's the focus. Whenever someone comes up with something, they come up with something.
Yeah.
Writing's an interesting thing. It's hard to talk about.
Because there's no process, so it's kind of
the process is
different every time.
Just the pursuit of it.
Yeah.
And when you're like if you're drawing from something that, like, you know, when people ask the influence on a song or something like that, usually when you're pursuing writing and you have just somewhere you might want to go intellectually, it's the ideas that something will hit you on that path, and that's actually the inspirational idea. And so it completely changes from, you could start wanting to write a song about a tree, but while you're writing that song about a tree, it suddenly becomes about this relationship you had 5 years ago, or so, you know, you never know what it is. And so, but an idea comes that had nothing to do with what you were actually pursuing. So it's kind of all this constant luck in the middle of pretending to pursue it with your brain, and then you just get lucky with kind of. Yeah. I don't know if any of that makes any sense.
No, it totally makes sense. And I have another question about it. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but are there times where you have to put yourself in that situation again and it hurts all over again, and then when you're done, it's fixed? Or do you still kind of carry that weight around with whatever it may be?
I think the weight lingers for a bit, but
that's you're more of a John Lennon-y, so that's more of a you question.
I mean, when you finish a song and you know it's good, that's the most satisfying feeling.
But I think
the pursuit of it can sometimes, it can take you down a rabbit hole that isn't always the most pleasant.
Well, Taylor specifically goes down the emotional path of writing or any kind of art and stuff, which like a character. I don't know what you would call it, but you literally put yourself you think about this, whatever mental position it is, and if it hurts and all those kinds of things. I kind of see it as a.
Well, I emote it.
It's there. I can't do it while I'm feeling it. I have to reflect
back on it, and I write while I'm feeling it.
So it's a little different, but that's why I'm not John Lennon.
I write mostly at night. You write a lot in the morning.
We're separate, yeah.
That's really
I'm a
cool.
nighttime person.
No, it makes perfect sense though. Huh. Okay. And then, like, when you're playing it on stage, that would be the therapy version of it, or?
Well, that's the fun part of it.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
the performance
that's
part
the
of it.
playing,
You've already gone
sport.
down the rabbit hole. Now you get to play.
You get to
it.
scream.
Yeah, you get to scream about it.
Tell me about bringing live musicians in when you were recording this record.
It was something new for us and a lot of fun. It really elevated the songs and allowed for them to go in places that they might not have gone in if we hadn't done so. We brought in a keyboard player, Andy Burton. Tommy Burns plays acoustic on Back to the River with us.
Singers.
We brought in singers, Janice Pendarvis.
Mostly it was just fun.
Because
we've been playing. When you're a tight-knit
Ramos.
4-piece band or whatever, and you've been playing together for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, you bring in Billy Preston like he came in on Let It Be, that kind of thing, or White Album, or whatever Beatles record.
Or Warren Haynes. Yeah, you bring in Warren Haynes.
And it's just more, it's more fun.
Did you pull from them? Did they pull from you? How did it work? You guys just got in front of each other
We
and
just
said,
jammed.
let's
Yeah.
just go?
We just kind of jammed on the songs. I mean, like The Devil's Back's a good example of having a keyboard player there that added something to it, because originally that song was going to be like a 2.5 minute song, and we were jamming and it sounded really good. It felt really good. So someone went, keep going. And now it's one of the longest songs on the record. So, I mean, that's kind of an example of it. We just picked a take, like which jam was the best.
Well, it's like being married to 4 people,
Yeah.
and then it's 10 years, and then you get the chance to, hey, everybody,
We have an
for
open
a day,
relationship
we're
now.
allowed to go have an open relationship. And we won't bring it on the road. We won't bring it home.
The
but
10-year anniversary present.
Yeah.
Would you do it again? Would you bring these people back or different people? I mean, is that now an option?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
cool.
It was so much fun, yeah.
What do you think, or where do you think the most pressure comes from being in a band?
Ourselves.
The songwriting is the
The
most
songwriting, yeah.
Yeah?
That's because that's where it starts. Without a song, without a good song, you've got nothing.
Well, it's also kind of where you win and get your confidence. If you can come up with something good that you like, nobody can take that away from you. So kind of the success of it later doesn't matter. So if it's successful and everyone likes it, they're all still judging it, whether they like it or don't like it. So it's kind of, you keep that all to yourself, so none of the outside part has really an effect, and it just becomes fun.
Yep.
And communicating with fans and stuff. It's kind of strange, but it's cool. It's a good job.
What does 2017 hold? I'm so excited for you.
A lot.
Yes.
It starts with, we start in the UK and then do a Europe run. And then we go, and then we do coming back for the spring in the US, I think. And
The
then-
spring in the U.S. is something we're all looking forward to. a lot. Those-
Festivals.
Those
Yeah.
festivals have turned into the U.S. Europe used to be like the festival land, and now, I mean, like Rock on
US
the
is-
Range with Metallica and Soundgarden.
Doesn't
and stuff.
suck.
That doesn't suck at all. So you get to see your name somewhere near those names.
Yeah.
And all the other ones, I think some of them got announced today, but the Soundgarden's on a lot of them, which
Yes.
we're stoked about.
Yeah.
Like Rock Rebellion. And, I don't know, the
Carolina
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fort Rock.
Yes.
Rock, yeah.
Fort Rock.
Oh, they all have rock in there. So
I know.
the rock.
We play lots of
festivals.
shows. But Rock on the Range is obviously a big, everyone's kind of stoked on that.
Super stoked.
Are you going out on your own too?
You
After
do-
that?
Yeah.
You do it,
in
yeah.
between, like,
And then afterwards.
and after, yeah.
I found something out this summer that I was completely unaware of, and that is that you and I share a birthday.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. And
oh,
then
that's awesome.
Isn't it like Mick Jagger's
Jagger's
birthday? or
birthday.
Mick
too.
Jagger's birthday, Sandra Bullock's birthday,
something? Oh, that's cool.
somebody else I don't remember, but her. And I was like, hey. Yeah, I wish you happy birthday on Twitter, but you didn't tweet me back. So
Oh, well, I
it's
didn't
okay.
see it.
No, I get it. You were probably busy.
Well,
listening.
happy birthday.
Writing a record.
Belated and
Happy birthday
coming.
to you. I know, right? I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited for this. I think the direction that you're taking is just working time and time again, and that has to be the greatest feeling.
It's not a bad feeling.
I mean, you took a risk, if we're being honest, and you said, I believe in what I'm about to do. I'm leaving this to go for this, and it blossomed into this whole other life. For
Yeah.
You've lived 2 lives now.
It feels like 10, but
I bet
yeah.
it does.
Yeah, and I'm glad I made the change because I'm actually doing something I love now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to call it a job.
Right. It's just cool to watch you guys be so creative constantly, you know?
And thank you.
Yeah. Ben and Taylor from The Pretty Reckless, Who You Selling For, is out now. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
us.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Nikki Sixx and Jenn on the Sixth Sense.